ain't had nothing to do with me nor Kirk. Them bitches was coming at you about your because they had too much ammo for you.
Don't act like you didn't say that.
I wasn't there. And I damn sure ain't gonna come to somebody about they on some half.
There was a noticeable tension in the room. As the cameras rolled, the lights were bright, and the crew was present. A storm was building beneath the surface of what was supposed to be a routine taping of the popular reality show. However, for Yandy and Rashida, everything around them seemed to fade into the background, leaving them alone in a battle that had been building for a very long time. Yandy had always been a strong woman, but tonight the pressure of the situation threatened to break her composure. B had always been at the center, had never been more personal or dramatic, and it felt like everything was falling apart in front of the cameras. As a friend and confidant, Rasheeda had been a constant in Yandy's life for years. However, their relationship with Mindy had always been complicated. There was no doubting their shared past and unbreakable bond. But things started to change when Mindy started seeing Yandy. At first, Rasheeda tried to be supportive, but soon she began to doubt Mindy's loyalty and moral character. The decisions he was making, and now that the cameras were recording every second the gloves were being taken off, Yandy felt the heat grow in her chest as Rasheeda's words cut through the air like a knife. This wasn't just the typical lighthearted banter or teasing that had characterized their relationship. This was genuine. Rasheeda's contempt for Mindy's decisions had increased with time, and she was now open about it. Every glance and statement seemed to be directed at Yandy, as though her relationship with Mindy was a personal betrayal. Are you really going to stand up for him? Yandy, you are still going to pretend like he's your knight in shining armor after everything he's done? Rasheeda's voice was filled with astonishment. Yandy's fury boiled, but she kept her composure because she knew that now was not the time to let her feelings run amok. But the hurt was still there, burning deep. It seemed like an attack on her, as though Rasheeda was doubting her judgment, her decisions, and everything that had brought her to this point. Why do you always have something to say about me's Yandy's words? Rasheeda had always been ready to point out M's shortcomings and blame him for their issues. You're not the one in this relationship. I'm the one who has to deal with his mistakes, baggage, and past, so don't sit here and try to pretend like you know what's best for me. She was strong, but her voice trembled with the frustration she had been suppressing for far too long. Rasheeda rolled her eyes and scoffed, but Yandy wasn't done yet. She had reached her breaking point. When her heart was on the line, this wasn't the time to back down. You've been observing from the sidelines, criticizing me and him. You've always had your opinions, but you've never been in our position, Yandy said. You have no idea what we've been through or what I've had to forgive, but here you are behaving as though you know everything. It's getting louder with every word. There was an electric tension between the two women, the atmosphere heavy with spoken animosity and unsolved problems. The rivalry, the unsaid jealousy, and the way Rasheeda's presence in M's life had always hung over Yandy's relationship with him like a shadow were the deeper issues that had been festering for years. It was no longer only about Mindy's. Rasheeda's eyes narrowed as her face twisted in anger. She fired back. You believe that you are the only one who has had to cope with M's mess. You believe that I have no idea what it's like to be in a relationship with someone who is always making mistakes. He has harmed us both, and I'm sick of watching you act as though he has changed while allowing him to bring you down, Yandy. For a minute, Yandy felt the ground shift beneath her as the words struck her like a slap in the face. She wanted to strike out and scream at Rasheeda for all the misery she had caused, but she refused to give anyone the satisfaction of seeing her since the world was watching and the cameras were on them. But on the inside, it seemed like everything was collapsing. M's errors. Yandy had struggled to keep things together for so long, but tonight it felt like the dam was going to explode as their argument heated up and Rasheeda's incessant meddling and the drama that had always surrounded them became too much. As accusations flew, the team watched in the background, unsure of how to step in, knowing that they were seeing a relationship fall apart, a struggle for power, and something far more significant than a dispute between two women. With the battle for respect that had been developing for years, the dispute ultimately lacked a definitive conclusion. Yandy bounded off. The cameras continued to record the fallout, but for Yandy, the real battle had just begun. It wasn't just about Rasheeda or Mindy. It was about figuring out how to get through the mess that had become her life and whether she could trust anyone, including herself again. It appears that Yandy may have lost her battle to keep her family together. Rumor is that Mindy is tired of referring to her as his wife and has finally returned to his true love, Erica, who resigned. Some people are even speculating that they may have already tied the knot, which is becoming a very problematic issue. It's no secret that Yandy's pride is the only thing keeping her in this marriage. And now that Mrs. has moved in with Erica, it appears Yandy has lost all control over her emotions. In addition to calling out Mrs. for hurting her feelings, Yandy is also sending Erica a clear warning to leave her man or else it will be on sight when they meet. We all thought Yandy would finally get to enjoy her marriage after all the hard work and sacrifice she put in while he was incarcerated. For those who haven't figured it out yet, take a seat and allow me to explain. Mrs. was released from jail earlier this year after serving time for drug-related charges. Yandy did everything she could to keep the family together, standing strong and handling everything on her own with M's back. She even went to therapy to address the issues in their relationship. In case you missed it, M's chose to move on to Yandy's fiercest rival, Erica, rather than repaying Yandy with devotion for keeping the family together. A cheater is always a cheater. If you've been following the love triangle between M's, Erica, and Yandy, you've likely noticed that Yandy has been in denial about the state of her marriage for years. She knows that Mrs. is still involved with Erica and hasn't been completely honest with her, but her pride and arrogance force her to not set boundaries with Erica. I think she's the only woman in his life. She's skilled at making things look ideal, but we all know that things aren't. Erica had been with Mindy for a long time before Yandy entered the picture, demonstrating how much Mindy loves Erica, his first baby mama. One of the few women he truly loved, according to Samantha, was Erica. Erica herself disclosed that she and Mindy had lived together, had matching passports, went on vacations, and even met his entire family. She was devoted to him and even assisted in raising his first child when Samantha wasn't there, but he needed someone with stability and a clear plan for the future when things weren't going well for him. That's how he found Yandy, and they got married despite his marriage to Yandy. Since he's out of jail and has a stable job, sources claim that MPES dumped Yandy and moved out of their house to a new one with Erica in order to resume their relationship. If we're being completely honest, I don't think Yandy deserves the treatment she's receiving from M, who held her down, fixed all of his problems, and got herself caught up in baby mama drama. He told her that he was in the marriage out of duty, not love, without hesitation. He even acknowledged that if their roles had been reversed, he never would have supported her or held the family down the way she did for him. She never should have been a part of this, endured disrespect from M's mother, and worked tirelessly to care for his children.
That ain't have nothing to do with me nor Kirk. Them bitches was coming at you about your because they had too much ammo for you.
Don't act like you didn't say that.
I wasn't there. And I damn sure ain't gonna come to somebody about they on some half.